Hello there. Welcome, everybody. Today, Dennis and I are not sharing the same workspace. I just arrived here in beautiful Concord, California, and managed to get to my hotel just in time to be able to jump online and say hello. And Dennis is in Vancouver. Dennis, how's it going over there?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Excellent. I see you have a brand new video camera and all that, all this new technology working for you.
Oh man, we're ready. We're ready. We got a Canary working, we got a Logitech working, and we got a Blue Yeti working. So go figure.
There you go. You got a Blue Yeti. I got a Silver Yeti.
Well, mine's mine's titanium.
Oh, okay.
But the brand on it is blue.
Got it. And everybody, it's a great microphone if you're doing stuff. These are, yeah, okay, same color. All right. We got it. And then and you had your brand new HD webcam come in, so we're all good to go.
With this massive field of view, and it's only like a foot from my face.
It's great. Well, today we're going to be talking. We're going to be doing a full presentation on social media. But before we do that, for those of you that don't know who we are, Dennis, why don't you just tell a little bit about who we are and the rules to our Wednesday trainings.
All right. So the rules are simple. There is no mentioning what company you're with. We will not mention any MLM companies. We're here to help you grow your business with information that'll help you grow your business. Should you decide that you can't help but to ask for your ask somebody for their company name online, we will boot you and we will ban you, and you're no longer welcome. This is a mentoring situation where we're here to help you build your business. It's sponsored by Hour a Day, which we'll talk a little bit more about it. We've got Craig Peliquin here, who is the VP of Sales of an MLM company. Don't ask. So I'm going to actually talk about you, Craig, and then you can talk about me, and then we can get into the slide. How's that sound?
It's so much easier to talk about somebody else and talk about yourself.
I don't like talking to myself. So Craig and I go way back to our very first MLM. We've got 20 plus years experience each, not combined. We got to be careful because those networking lies add up. He's been $1 million earner in the industry, and he also owned his own company that got to over $10 million a year in sales. So he's also an MLM trainer. He was corporate trainer with the first company I was involved with. So he knows his way around MLM, and that's why we've partnered up to take our knowledge and our mistakes and our inefficiencies and try to help you eradicate them so you can get there faster than we did.
And Dennis, I'll introduce you. I mean, you were actually the very first time that I met you. You came up to me after I finished doing a business presentation with that company, shook my hand, told me it was the worst presentation you would ever seen. I think my jaw hit the floor. But you know, you said it was clicky. I had inside jokes, and you were right. So I said, look, come back next week. It'll be different. It was different. We've been friends ever since. And you know what I'm going to be sharing today is, you know, from all this knowledge of things, we go back to you know, old school. And you know, we were doing networking before the internet, before this power was out there. I mean, our first MLM company, even when the internet finally was there, you couldn't sign up online. So you know, we're taking old school techniques, combining it with the new technology. And about 2.5 years ago, when I became the VP of the company I'm with now, part of my job description was that I had to get a LinkedIn profile. And I wasn't on LinkedIn. I'd seen these emails come to me, such and such is asking me to link in, and such is asking me to link in. And I was like, I don't even know what this LinkedIn thing is. And I just said, no. I mean, it's only on Facebook to upload photos of my kids playing hockey. I really wasn't using social media, and I had to do it. So I had to go in and learn LinkedIn from scratch. But because of that, I didn't have any bad habits. So I took what I knew from what we learned 20 years ago and applied it to LinkedIn today. And I managed to create a very successful way to use LinkedIn to build your MLM business. And that's what we're going to share with you today. I created a nice little PowerPoint presentation. So it'll give you a good idea what it's all about. And should we just jump into it, Dennis, and get going on that, or anything else you want to add?
Well, I got to interject just a little bit because, I mean, when you first came up with your LinkedIn message, I already was well established in social media. I'm an MLM consultant. I do all of these wonderful things. And when you told me what you were doing on LinkedIn, I just about fell out of my chair because you felt so far ahead of anything I'd even considered doing. Because I was the opposite. I was too far into social media, too far into all of this stuff that was going on. And I completely wasn't using LinkedIn. I completely didn't conceive of why it was even important. In fact, it was my least favorite of all social media. Based upon the things I've learned from you and your system, I've now realized that for my MLM software company, for my consulting business and everything, it's a very, very good place to find interested people.
Well, let's start talking about it then. So let me just go and bring up my presentation slide here, and our MLM MasterMinds training. This is for social media for MLM done right. So we're going to give you some tips. Now, we've already given a background to me. Once again, I am the VP of sales for an MLM company. Not here to talk about that. I've got over 20 years of MLM experience. I've been $1 million income earner, and that does actually mean I've earned $1 million in commissions as a distributor in a calendar year. I didn't just earn 100,000 in a month and extrapolate it. I've owned my own MLM company. I've been an MLM trainer, so I've worn a lot of hats in the industry. Dennis is currently the president of an MLM software company. His software company is what I run my entire company on, and the one that I did previous when I owned my own. He also has houraday.com, which is sponsoring our weekly meetings, and Small Business Dream. They're subsidiaries. He's a consultant. He's got the same amount of experience because we started doing MLM the same time. He's also earned over $1 million a year and has been a trainer. So that's our background, so you know who we are. But let me tell you the main thing that about social media, and the main rule is not to sell. And if you get out there and all you're doing is pitching your products, it won't work. Use the 80-20 rule. You want to be talking and making friends 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time you could be talking a little bit about your products and your opportunity. Make friends first. This is the most important thing. Become an expert in your field, and that not only means with your products, but also in the industry of multi-level marketing. It's okay to say you're an MLM. Don't be scared of it. I don't want to be a second income specialist or some lifestyle engineer. People come up with these crazy names for what they do. You're an MLM, be an MLMer. It's okay.
Yeah, and let me interject on that one.
Go ahead.
The other key is, of course, becoming an expert doesn't necessarily just mean becoming an expert in MLM. It does also mean become an expert. So if you're the best at piano or you're the best at anything, start to build a community of people around you that identify with you as that expert, and let your profiles and your soft approach bring them along to possibly wondering what you're doing on the side. So everyone wants to think that I have to become a social media expert or one of these other things that's related to MLM. The truth is you're going to be able to boost posts and do everything far cheaper if you're the best auto mechanic on the planet, or you're the whatever, you're the Nissan specialist, or you're the, I don't know, pick something that you're really good at, develop a community around that, because that community is about friends. And if you're identifying with that community, you're less likely to vomit all over them with your MLM. Develop the community and let the people find out what you do through other means. Build a Twitter following off the community, and then 20% of your posts will talk about your business and your opportunity. And guess what? I don't care what you're an expert at or how many people you gather around you that are interested in that same topic. A certain percentage of them will already be in MLM, be interested in MLM, had one go broke, and want to know what you have to say. So it's not just about becoming an expert in your products or something to do with your company. Become an expert in notebooks. I don't care. Become an expert. The long tail allows us to be an expert and create a massive following with the power of the internet. So I had to just expand upon that so people didn't think it was about becoming an expert on acai juice or pomegranate paste or whatever bloody thing your MLM sells.
And that's true, but I still believe you got to become an expert in your industry, and you got to become an expert in MLM. You got to be an expert in what you do, and you got to be proud of it as well. So I don't care I don't care what you say about being another expert. If you want to make $1 million in multi-level marketing, you better become an expert in this industry and learn some of the things, you know, that we've had to learn over the past 20 years to be able to do it. We didn't become millionaires overnight. It took time, took effort, and as our mentor taught us, all we had to do was copy successful people.
That's right.
He got through grade 12 copying, so I mean, we figured he could do it. Why can't we, right?
Right. Exactly.
All right, let's get back into the presentation. All right, so here we go. So let's talk about my LinkedIn way. It is the ultimate way to sharpshoot your way to an MLM team. You have to do it respectfully, and you're going to be using a giving versus getting manner. This is not an overnight success system. It's going to take time. You're in this for the long term, not the short term. And as I already said, it's about making friends first. So I'm going to go step by step what I did in order to go out on the LinkedIn and make it work. So the very first thing I had to do is I had to log into LinkedIn. So you do need to be part of LinkedIn. We're not going into how to set up your LinkedIn profile right now and how to do all that. You need to have a basic knowledge of LinkedIn, not too hard. If you have any difficulty, go to any one of our profiles. You'll see a way to set it all up. Now, once you're logged into LinkedIn, you're seeing, here is my LinkedIn account. This is me logging in and bringing you to my homepage. So once I've logged in, I'm going to be now searching for MLM. I literally search for people that are involved in network marketing and multi-level marketing. And you might as well start with people in your city. It's easier to build a home base, to build a home first and then expand out. And if you're in a small town, you can search the biggest city close to you. So how do you do that? You click on the, in the top little white bar up there, there's a place you can see with the red arrow, and I type in MLM New York. And when I hit the search button, all the people that have the letters MLM somewhere in their profile and live in New York, they come up. And you're going to see, I circled a couple. One of them says message, the very first one, Stephen, that came up. The reason it says message, I'm already connected to him. The next person, Lionel, I'm not connected to, so it asked me to connect. The next person, Gregory, I'm already connected to. The next person, I do a lot of this, Dennis, so I'm connected to quite a few people, even in New York, and I'm here in Vancouver. So
well, hang on, I was mostly curious about a few slides ago about that particular lady laying there in her bikini and just how you were connected to her.
It's a tough job, Dennis, but somebody's got to do it, right? I mean, okay. So now what you do not do is where it says connect, don't click this connect button. It's faster, it's easier, but it's wrong. You need to go and connect with them and add a custom invitation message. If you click the connect button, it'll just send out the generic, I would like to connect with you.
Yeah. And remember, Craig, the generic I would like to connect with you is the same one that all of you ignore when they come your way. So don't be that person.
Right. Don't do it. Doesn't work. So what you need to do is instead of clicking on the connect button, you need to click on the person's name and open up their profile. So you can see I'm saying don't click the connect. I put an X on the connect and I put an arrow to where you're going to click. You click on her name. That's going to open up her profile. So now you see Samantha's profile. And she's in New York. I've obviously for people, for anonymity purposes, I blanked out the full names. And then this is where you click the connect button, because now it takes more steps, Dennis. This is not fast. You know what? This takes a few minutes compared to a few seconds in order to make the connection, but it makes a genuine connection. This is about quality connections, not quantity, and we'll go into reasons why. So once you click that connect button, it's going to bring up a new screen and it's going to ask, how do you know this person? Now, if you want to bypass having to put in their email, the easiest one to click on is we've done business together. And then a drop down menu will come up and then you choose the company that you want to do. In my case, Vice President of Sales and Marketing at my company. That's the one that I use. Make sure you use your current MLM company. If you don't have it on your profile list, add it. Stop hiding who you are with. All right. So now you've done that. Then you need to include a personal note. You can see that The regular note just says, I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn and my name. That's what everybody gets. That doesn't get you anywhere. You need to customize it. And what you need to do to customize it is you need to learn a little bit about the person. So in their profile, go to their skills section, find common ground. And it's the common ground that you're going to find in order to connect. This person's in skincare, in sales, in the beauty industry. That happens to be my industry. So that works out really well. Remember,
hey, Craig, this is all sounding a little bit like real life here. I thought you were going to tell us special magic about an online system. I mean, this is like, hang on, I just walked into a room full of people and I have to go talk to someone and actually say something creative first. And then I actually have to have an interest in them and ask them questions and listen to what they have to say. Like, this is sounding an awful lot like the regular world. Is that why you tripped across this system? Because you didn't know how to think geek, or what?
I didn't automate it, Dennis. That was the key to this. The key to this is no automation. I mean, we all get robots talking to robots. It's kind of like going on a first date. You're not going to hit a home run. It's not like, hi there, my name's Craig, your place or mine. That doesn't work. You gotta get to know the person, find out their interests, see if they're, you gotta hold hands first. You gotta start somewhere.
So what you're trying to say then is the approach that we have been teaching people about Twitter and Facebook and making friends first and getting to know each other and slowly dripping all applies to this LinkedIn method too.
Yes, it does, Dennis.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It does. So let's continue then on and show you why. Because you don't want to be like everybody else. When I get a customized personal note to ask me connect, I saw your profile, this is what I put here, and we seem to have some skills in common, especially skincare and sales. Notice I highlighted 2 of the skills so they know that it's not an automated cut and paste. Well, it kind of is a cut and paste, Dennis, and then I kind of then changed whatever skills I need to do so it's semi-automated. I wanted to connect with you to see how we might be able to help each other. Notice I'm not selling what I do. I just want to connect and see what we can do to help each other. Help's a great word. It's like when you first started working with Greg, he taught you not to use sell, you use share, right?
That's right.
Same thing here. The magic word in LinkedIn is help. Nobody wants to be sold. Nobody wants to buy something from you, but we all want to help each other. And if you don't want to also be like everybody else that is just spamming and sending it out there, because that's going to cause problems down the road. We'll go into that. So then once you've done the personal invitation, you are going to click the send invitation button. Okay. Now you don't do this. Note this. This is very important. You do not send this invitation if you do not have time to respond to instant responses you get. So don't do this at midnight. Do this first thing in the morning, and that way you've got the day as people are responding. Don't do this just before you're going to go to bed or just go out of town. All right. Now, responses are time sensitive. This is the key. You're going to get responses immediately in 2 ways when someone accepts your connection request. You're going to get an email. And if you've downloaded the app, and I highly suggest download the LinkedIn app if you haven't, you're going to get a push notification. You want to get both. You need to get both because responses are time sensitive. And what do I mean by that? Okay. And when I talk about what's going back here on this note, and this is a screen of death, the reason that you have to do this personalized is if you get this note, this message is a notice that you are nearing the threshold of I don't know responses. And the reason you get that is because you don't send custom emails. You just do like everybody else. And they take a look at you and they don't accept your connection. And then they click the I don't know this person button. You get too many of those, then this is the screen of death. Then you get banned from connecting to anybody you don't have an email address for. So if you do it right from the beginning, you'll never get this warning. So screen of death, don't want to see it.
Right. Now, and let's also just sort of reiterate that this has as much to do with selecting what you're searching for to be very specific, right? So don't think that LinkedIn is about just going on and trying to connect with anyone. It is about going after MLM and going after keywords and names and making sure that the initial search that you're starting to connect with is sort of relatable to you. Don't try to be a shotgun. This is a sharp shooting thing. And the closer you sharp shoot, the less likely you are to get banned. But the more you think, oh, I'm just going to go these 25 people because they came up on the list. Make sure they're appropriate. That's why you need to do all those extra steps of getting to know them a bit and doing all of this, because it's about that sharp shooting. So I just wanted to reiterate that you really have to be careful about the initial searching and making sure that they're appropriate to you so that it doesn't look like you're a spammer and you're really trying to connect.
Right. So let's keep on. Let's go a little bit further on that and keep on going through here. So sorry, I went backwards instead of forwards. Now, finally, you send it out and somebody accepts your connection. You're going to get a push notification. You're going to get notified on LinkedIn as well. This is, I'm showing you right on your online, on your computer, LinkedIn. This person is connection. It tells you how long ago that they responded, so you know. And you're going to get an email. Don't rely on the email. Don't rely on the online. Have everything available. Have it online. Have a push notification. Have your email, because this is the key. The key is to respond to the person within minutes, if it's at all possible, of them actually accepting your request to connect. Now, this is how you can see that in the email here. So you'll see with this person, I happen to get the email at 8:02 a.m. So I got it in the morning. So how soon, Dennis, should I have followed up with this person?
1 minute.
Yeah.
Actually, 30 seconds. Oh, actually, I mean right now.
That's the best, but within the hour is the best. Within a few minutes is absolutely top if you can all do it. But absolutely, the more hours that go on that you do not respond to this, the less likely you're going to make a true connection. Because the reason you want to connect right away, as soon as somebody clicked the I accept your connection button, Dennis, guess what? They're on LinkedIn.
That's right.
So when you go and send them an email, they're going to see it right away, and now you have a chance to make a genuine connection with the person. You're top of mind. Now, I said time sensitive, already said that. Respond within minutes, not hours. Days, you might as well forget about it.
Yeah, don't bother.
Do it right away. Now, what I do is as soon as I check the email, the fastest way to view their profile from the email that comes in is click the view profile button, because now I want to follow up with them right away, but I want to have to know, once again, what do we have in common? I need to remind myself. So if you click the view profile button, you'll bring up who they are. I'm going to look at their links. I'm going to look at their skills so I can arm myself with information to make a good connection. I want to know everything about them so that I can send them an appropriate message. I also want to look and see how many connections they have, Dennis.
So hang on. Shouldn't I at least throw in a couple of zingers to get them interested in my company? I mean, come on, man. This is going to take forever if I have to just play first. I think it'd be better if I just injected a little bit of, stuff that they won't know is my company, but it'll start to make them interested. That would soup this up, wouldn't it?
If you want to fail, that would be perfect. Absolutely. You want somebody to immediately unlink from you. Great way to do that. You got to make a friend first. We've got people on this call that I can see that I've actually connected with on LinkedIn first. And anybody that knows me, that's connected with me on LinkedIn, knows I didn't go in selling the company that I'm with first. I made friends first. I found out about them. It's more important to find out how I can help that person and they can help me, and see if our connection is mutually beneficial. I do like to connect with people, Dennis, that have at least 500 plus connections. The more people they're connected with, the better. But people that only have 5, 10, 20, 30, 100 connections, they're also really good to connect with because they're not professionals on LinkedIn. So they're really happy to want to connect with you and learn from you. So it works both ways, but you want to know where they're at. Now, what I'm doing right now, this is all part of the study phase. I want to quickly learn about the person. KYC, know your customer. I need to know their background. So in their profile, I read their summary. I find out what they're currently doing. I go in and look at their experience, the company they're currently with. They'll typically tell you all about what they're doing right now. I don't spend hours reading through it. I scan through it all to find common ground. Then I'm going to send them a custom message, Dennis. And it's very important to personalize this. If you do not include common ground, you're not going to get any results. Or worse, you're going to be deemed a spammer, and then you're going to lose your ability to do this. You're going to lose your account because LinkedIn will cut you off. Make friends first. So you click the send a message button. Now, this is what's going to pop up. It's going to be an in message from LinkedIn. Write a good subject and include their name in it. And if you can include their name again in the body, that's great too. And your common ground. Don't try to sell. So thanks for accepting my connection, Deanna. It's great to connect with you. Great to connect with another professional like you. I asked to connect to see with you to see if our connection might be mutually beneficial. I find it best to connect over the phone instead of messaging back and forth. When can I set up a time to call you? Did you see that, Dennis? I'm actually going to pick up the phone and call them. Now, if I can find their phone number, Dennis, I'm just going to stop sharing this just for a second here and come back on here. If when I'm on LinkedIn, I've got the ability to get their phone number and I can get it right away, I'll send that message. But I'm also going to pick up the phone if I've got the time, because that's what I want to do. And I'm going to try to call them right away. And a lot of times people are like, wow, you know, I haven't connected with them really yet. Why should I pick up the phone? Well, that's what you're going to be doing something different.
I mean, your whole purpose there is you get them on the phone because now you can give them all your company information and you can get them going right away, don't you? Isn't that why?
Well, no, we know that the reason why Mr. Devil's Advocate is that we are not there to go and sell, and you're not even going to be talking about your company. When I pick up the phone and talk to somebody, hi, Dennis, it's Craig Peliquin from Vancouver. We haven't met. We just connected on LinkedIn.
I'm not asking too leading of objections, am I? I mean, they're realistic.
Well, you know what? That's what a lot of people think they're on there for. Ultimately, the end goal is that, right, Dennis? That's the end goal.
Absolutely.
We want to try to make a genuine connection that's going to be interested in our company and join us to help us build our team. That's our long goal. But if you make that your short goal, you'll never build a team. This is not
no friend. And you'll lose your LinkedIn account.
There you go. So do it right, make friends first, and then you can go and build a team that'll last you a lifetime, because connections that will last forever. And I've got dozens of people that I can just think of right off the top of the head, and some, like I said, are already on there. Hi, Diana, on there, that I met on LinkedIn and made connections first, made friends first, doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I picked up the phone and made that call and made a friend. Found out about them, because that's more important when you're going to go and make connections. This is what life is about. Network marketing is about making friends too. So once you've done that and you send it, you're gonna get this. Your message was successfully sent, and you sent that out. It's been customized. Now immediately try to call them. If you don't get a hold of them, leave them a message. It's okay. You can do that. And now what do you got to do? Now here's the next most important part. You've got to wait for them to send you a LinkedIn email response. If you pick up the phone though, Dennis, and you talk to them, you don't need to wait for them to respond. You've taken the initiative. Once you start a dialogue in LinkedIn, you have a true prospect. So once they start connecting back and forth with this person, Noah, thank you for connecting, Craig. I've created a real connection. I can start a dialogue going back and forth, and my goal is to get them on the phone. Okay, you'll find this in your message section on LinkedIn. You're also going to get an email and an in-app notification if you downloaded the app. So why is the app important? It's for all aspects of this process, Dennis, is you need to have and be able to respond right away when somebody is talking to you. Now, let's talk about hour a day. Now, we're not here to sell the hour a day system. But let me explain why I think it's so important. First of all, Hour Day was built by MLMers for MLMers. And I helped you a lot with the input of what was needed in Hour Day. You took a lot of what you learned over the past 20 years. I helped with mine, and we helped create something that wasn't just thrown together in a day. You spent millions of dollars putting this together, Dennis, and you need to have a follow-up system. So why not have one that was built for MLM? That's what Hour a Day is done. You can use others, but I'm going to tell you why you want to use Hour a Day. And we'll explain quickly how you do it. All you do is to add them into your follow-up system, you go back into that person. So I went to Noah's Noah's homepage in LinkedIn, went to his profile, and I clicked the contact info button. And that's going to give me all the basics that I need to know so I can enter him into a prospect. I'm going to get his email, his phone number, any websites, his Twitter handle in this case. I'm going to find everything that the prospect wants to share. Now, sometimes, Dennis, you need to dig deeper and you need to get into their website to get their phone number, because many people like Noah here, you can see there's no phone number that he's putting. He doesn't want to share his phone number. But when I clicked his company website and I went to his site, I was able to find his phone number on his company website. Sometimes you got to work a little bit, Dennis, in order to be able to get this information. Then you go to the houraday.com one. I know at the end of this, we're going to explain how you can get your own Hour a Day system. You click the login button. You type in your username and your password and that 4-digit code. That changes every single time for security purposes. And you click login. Then it's as simple as clicking add a contact and fill in the blanks and provide as much information as you have available to you. Once again, this is not quick. You're just putting somebody in to forget them. You want your Hour a Day to be the place where you keep track of everybody, so you got one place to go to do all the follow-up. Notice I put in his email, his phone number, and then I subscribed him to a follow-up series. So this is a series of either emails or, in this case, social media LinkedIn follow-up series that I then go cut and paste into LinkedIn when the system tells me to do it. You can customize these series to suit your needs. You can add them with this little information, or if you have more details, click the more detail button, and you can put them into a category. You can select more than one category if you like. LinkedIn is obviously a great category to have. Create your own categories if required. Wherever, if you know them personally, if you found them on Facebook, a family friend, how do you get to know this person? Blab you see up there is another great way, social media thing that we use a lot.
Actually, go back just a sec, Craig.
Yeah.
So when it comes to categories, your concept here is you're thinking into the future. How can I slice and dice through all this data? When I have 1,000 contacts, how can I slice and dice in a fairly specific way to be able to send a fairly specific message to a group of people that will all feel like it's a personal message to them? So you're using the categories to sort of document anything you know about them. You know, maybe they're in Vancouver, so you have a group for Vancouver people, because then when you ever go to Vancouver, you can send an email blast to everyone in Vancouver saying, hey, I'm going to be in Vancouver. So anything you've sort of gleaned that might be useful to your business or might be useful as a way in to talking to them, as you're adding the contact, don't be shy to add 20 categories. Add enough stuff so that in the future, when you try to start connecting with subsets of your groups, you'll be able to filter by all these different categories on an and or an or basis. So I only want to talk to the people that are in my Blab and in Vancouver, or I only want to talk to the people that are in Blab or Vancouver. So this is a very, very powerful thing, and it's worth, yet again, a little bit of extra time, which is why all the time you spent learning about these people pays back to you over and over and over, because you'll be able to get more categories, which gives you more future capability to drip on them with stuff that makes sense to them.
Yeah. Thanks, Dennis. That is so important. So you can put them in 5 or 6 different categories if you wish. And then in the optional information, you can set a priority. I initially set somebody as a priority 5, right in the middle, and then I move them up or down based on me connecting or not connecting with them. 0 is the top. 10 means you're never going to connect again. If I know the city they're in, really important, put in their city, their country. You got to choose the country before you can choose the state or the province. You can't skip over that, or it won't be a drop-down menu. And then you know, male or female. Sometimes they're androgynous names and you don't know, and you leave them as unknown. You know, sometimes you don't know if Pat is a man or a woman by looking at the name, but by looking at their picture on LinkedIn, you know if they're a male or a female. Add that information in there, and then quick add. Once you've done this, you've got a new contact in your Hour a Day follow-up system. And as long as you add them to a follow-up series, the system is going to automatically follow up. But don't rely on this. Don't rely on automation. You must follow up with a phone call, as I said at the beginning, to make the connection personal. You need to do that as soon as possible. And when to follow up again, tell the system when you want to follow up. It has a last contact date. It has a follow-up date. You can set your priorities here. I mean, literally, it has a little calendar, and you can say, this is the date I want to follow up with next. You can have a drop-down menu, set them as a priority 5. Once again, the sorter goes from 0 to 10. All the things that you could possibly need to know all in one place to be able to follow up. You also can copy notes and add notes or copy and paste any communications to their social media. So any of the messages that I sent through Twitter or through Facebook or through LinkedIn, I can copy and paste even emails right into the timeline so that I can find everything I need to know about the person all in one spot. And then you see a timeline of all the things. Subscribe to LinkedIn, follow up, and the first email went out. And exactly what was said. You can have emails go out. You can have social series go out. So much that you can do here. And to make it even easier, Dennis, you just added this great Google Calendar to the mix. Now, Dennis, you use this for the first time live. Was it yesterday you started actually using it yourself? Maybe you can talk a little bit about why you added Google Calendar.
Well, yeah, and it was an interesting reason that I added Google Calendar. And so I found myself, I mean, the primary way that I do business with the MLM software world is that I'm actually doing all of the business over the telephone with very few actual meetings. But as I started to spin off Small Business Dream, I found that Small Business Dream was causing me to need to do more actual face-to-face stuff. So I found myself using the hour-a-day system religiously for MLM software-related stuff because it was all telephone. It made sense. There's a calling list. There's all these cool things. But I found myself only using half the features on the Small Business Dream side because too much of it was leading me to need to set up an appointment. And it didn't really do appointments. It gave me a list of people to call. So I went, hey, hang on a second. If that's what's preventing me from using it more, then that doesn't make any sense because that means any small business person or even a lot of MLMers that are actually doing it by coffee meetings and presentations, I went, there's something missing here. So we whipped up this feature. And yeah, yesterday I literally went in and I got a call and I set up a conference call and I clicked one button and boom, it fired open the calendar. And I figured that it saved me 5 minutes compared to going and making a manual calendar entry and then coming back into the hour-a-day system and updating my note. It all just happened seamlessly. And I got really, really excited because I knew the idea was neat. But as soon as it saved me 5 minutes, I just knew I was onto a winner. So yeah, now it actually will look after your offline world and your non-calling world and actual physical meetings and physical appointments and conference calls and trainings. It can actually help you to schedule all of that and block out a Google Calendar, which you can then share with your downline so they can see when you're blocked out, when you're busy, when you're not, if you choose to.
Yeah, and that's the key here, everybody. Understand that we're using it every day. We know what we need, and then Dennis, you got the software guys that can go and build it. So you thought I'd build it and they'll come, and you know what? And now you got something that's even better today than it was a month ago, than it was a year ago. It continues to evolve and get better. And we'll go into some of those things. We're not going to go in today. We're talking about LinkedIn, but I can't wait till we get into talking about the whole social connect feature. But you know, let me just finish off where we were at. So to use the, you just literally type in your note, check the add to button. As soon as you add the note, it opens up your Google Calendar and adds it right in there for you. And then if your Google Calendar is set up to your phone, like most people have, you get the notification on your phone through Google that you got to talk to somebody, and it's just one more way to make sure you don't forget to follow up. Which leads us to today's actions and calls list. At the end of the day, all your social series and all your calls, everything you have to do, when it comes up and you say, I want to talk to this person on Wednesday, and you set it up, guess what? On Wednesday, their name comes up, and you don't get to finish. All your calls are made, and this is completely empty, and it says, go have a coffee. So, you know, what about other social media? The same general rules and methodology will apply to Facebook. It's not quite as effective due to the spam that's in there. You do similar messages getting through. And Facebook is not as much about business as LinkedIn is. So I found LinkedIn is the most effective way of doing it. We told everybody that they needed to get hour a day, so you've offered a free trial. Maybe, Dennis, you could just go over and tell them what you've done here to get their free trial.
Yeah, so we're more than happy for someone to come and have a play and see if they like it. It's very, very simple. You go to twt.bz/HAD. You'll be asked for 4 or 5 pieces of information. You'll click go, and in 45 seconds, you'll be loaded up with an MLM-friendly version of the system. If you do follow and direct message me your username on Twitter at hour a day within the next hour, I'll double your trial to 60 days just to make sure you have lots of time to have a good play. And we also have an associated ad co-op that allows you to buy into advertising, and we help to generate traffic to the sales funnel portion of hour a day. So you can get involved with us on a number of levels. The other thing we're doing, Craig, is all of these tutorials and all of these lessons we're actually putting into the back office. And if you're a paid subscriber of Hour a Day, you'll actually have access to the entire library of all of these Hour a Day MLM Mastermind trainings. So an added benefit of paying your $29.99 a month is you get access to the entire archive of all of these trainings to help yourself and your team grow. The other thing that was on that slide was we also have an MLM training newsletter. So again, twt.bz/HADNL for newsletter. And that'll get you into our free MLM newsletter. That's, same style as this. It's all right in your face. Here's how you do it. ABCs, not a whole bunch of motivation and fun stuff that you go home and can't apply, but the style of saying, here is how you do things. Here is what to say. Here is when to say them. That's what we believe in here at Hour a Day. We want you to walk away with skills that make you more money tomorrow than you were making today.
Great. Well, everyone, that's really, the LinkedIn, how it all works, how simple it is to be able to put it together. We're here every week. You can join us live in Vancouver if you're in the local Greater Vancouver area, or online. And is that you beeping there, Dennis? Might be me beeping. Might be I think I'm beeping. But anyways, Dennis is run out to go grab something. But we're here every week.
Fire alarm was going off, and if you don't make it stop fast enough, the whole building gets evacuated.
Okay, I thought I was hearing some noise. I thought, is that me or you? I thought, is my hotel on fire?
No.
So, anyways, we've got something for everybody. If you want to participate and you've got something to share and want to bring in your team, contact Dennis or I. We'd love to have special guests come on here every week. We're here to help you build your team. So feel free to connect with us directly outside of the webinars. We'd love to hear your input. Jump in, send us a tweet, send us an email. You can get me, craigpeliquin@gmail.com. You can get Dennis. What's the best way to get a hold of you, Dennis?
Dennis@houraday.com.
There you go. Or you can also simple, and Dennis can get you at hour_day, right?
Right. That's correct.
Got it. Super. Well, Dennis, I got a long day here, flying all the way to San Fran through to Concord, via Seattle layover. So I'm glad I got here just in the nick of time to be able to jump on and do this. Great to be able to give this topic out to everybody. It's worked well for me. I know it can work well for you. And any parting words you'd like to give everybody, Dennis?
Nope, except do something differently tomorrow than you were doing today as a result of this information, and start working your way towards that $1 million income.
Great.
Anyways, we're back next week with something else really, really fun. And watch our meetup page for the subject. We're going to
go further into the social media stuff. We're going further into that. And I know we're going to talk about, I think it was once you've got a person in contact with follow-up, was it not? I'm not going into follow-up and making that initial call?
I think you're right. I'm just about there. Give me one more second.
That weighs so much, picking up the phone and making a call?
Yeah, I think it was inviting. We were going to do inviting next week. So actually teaching people what to do and what to say to invite people to get information and to do things to do with getting to the next step once you've got some people to talk to.
All right, that's it. So how to invite, how to talk to people that you're connecting with. So connect on LinkedIn with some people, and feel free to connect with me. And if you got questions, certainly feel free to ask. We want to be here to help you. Everybody, have yourselves a good week. We'll see you next Wednesday with your teams.
All right. Good night, everyone.